Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Dr. Tazir. Now, I have already delivered the lecture of the development of nervous system. Now, in cases of CNS, that is the development of CNS at the brain and the spinal cord, we said that these structures they are derived from a neural tube. Now, neural tube in spinal cord, we see that the neural tube has got the ventral part, that is in the form of basilar plate, and then it has got a dorsal part, that is in the form of alar plate. If we look into the histology of the nervous system, in cases of spinal cord, the grey matter is inside and the white matter is outside, while in cases of our brain, the grey matter is outside and the white matter is inside. Now, in the brain, we have the presence of 12 cranial nerves. Now, the cranial nerves, first we have got the olfactory, then we have got the optic. These two nerves are sensory. Then we have got the third nerve, that is the oculomotor, and the fourth nerve, that we call it as a trochlea. These are motor nerve. Then we have got the fifth nerve, that is the trochlear nerve, which is a mixed nerve, and we have a sixth nerve, that is abducent. It is again motor. Seventh nerve is the facial nerve, which is mixed one. Eighth one, that is our vestibulocochlear, it is a sensory. The ninth, cranial nerve, that is the glossopharyngeal, it is our mix. The vagus is mixed. And then we have got the 11th cranial nerve, accessory nerve, and the hypoglossal nerve, which are the motor one. So we can see that in central nervous system we have certain grey matter, which is in the form of sensory nuclei, and other grey matter, that is in the form of motor nuclei. Now, for the development of the hindbrain, we see already that in the formation of the brain, first there are formation of three primary brain vesicles, that we have got the forebrain, then we have got the midbrain, and then we have got the hindbrain. Now, forebrain divide into the further two brain vesicles, that is the telencephalon and the diencephalon. Midbrain, it does not divide, and the hindbrain, it divides into metencephalon and the melencephalon. The melencephalon, it is the formation of medulla oblongata, and then we have the metencephalon, which lead to formation of our pons and the cerebellum. Now, so we can say simply that in the brain and spinal cord there is story of the grey and white matter. Other important structure which is located in these brain and spinal cord, that is our ventricular system or the central canal, which is a feature of our spinal cord, or we can simply say it is the cavity of the spinal cord. And in cases of the brain, we have the different part of the brain, cerebrum, if start from above, cerebrum, then we have got the diencephalon, then we have got the midbrain, and then we have got the hindbrain. Each part of brain, they have got their own cavity or the ventricle. Now, starting from above, the cerebrum has lateral ventricle, the diencephalon has got the third ventricle, the midbrain has got aqueduct of Sylvius, and the fourth fourth ventricle is the cavity of our hindbrain. Now, what these cavity contain? These cavity contain the CSF. These are the spaces which contain, and this fourth ventricle, it become continuous below with the central canal of the spinal cord. Now, for the development of our hindbrain, we also discuss about that there are three brain flexures. Now, one located at the region of midbrain, that we call as midbrain flexure. The second is located at the junction of spinal cord and the medulla oblongata, that we call as cervical flexure, and the one that is located dorsally, that we call as the pontine flexure. Now, this pontine flexure, it divides the hindbrain into two parts. One, that is the mesencephalon, from where medulla oblongata develop, and the second that we call as the metencephalon, that give origin to our cerebellum and the pons. Now, before going into the development of medulla oblongata, some gross features of the medulla are very important. If you look into the medulla oblongata, the cavity of the medulla oblongata is the central part of the central canal of spinal cord in the lower part, and in the upper part we have got the fourth ventricle. Now, general feature of the medulla oblongata, that we have on the anterior aspect of medulla oblongata, we have the pyramid. Then, just lateral to pyramid, we have got the olive, and then we have got just lateral to it, we have got the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Now, certain cranial nerve nuclei, they are located in the medulla oblongata. Before going into the detail of these nuclei, we say that at the junction of the pyramid and the olive, the nerve which emerges, that is our hypoglossal nerve. And then between the olive and the inferior cerebellar peduncle, there is emergence of 9th, 10th, 11th cranial nerve. So these are the superficial attachment of the cranial nerve with the medulla oblongata. Now brief account of on the posterior aspect of the medulla oblongata. On the posterior aspect of medulla oblongata, in the lower part, we have got the posterior median sulcus. Then on side of posterior median sulcus, we have got the gracile tubercle, and thus on lateral side of it, we have got the cuneate tubercle. If we move above, the cavity of this part of the medulla oblongata, it is the central canal of the spinal cord, or we can simply say that it is the extension of the central canal of the spinal cord. And above we have got the fourth ventricle. Now, generally, if you look into the structure of the medulla oblongata, it is a conical in shape. It is, and the broad extremity of the medulla of the cone is directed spirally. Now, if you look into the internal structure of the medulla oblongata, we see that there is presence of, it consists of grey and white matter, but the transverse section of medulla oblongata show that there is extensive rearrangement. This extensive rearrangement can be explained by the expansion of the neural tube to form hindbrain vesicle, which becomes the fourth ventricle. Now, the extensive lateral spread of ventricle result in the alteration in the position of alar and the basilar plate. It is like that. Now, fourth process. Look at this one. Now, look at the position which was of the alar and the basilar plate was in the spinal cord. You see that the basilar plate, they are located anteriorly, and the alar plate, they are located posteriorly in relation with the sulcus limitans. In relation with the sulcus limitans. Okay, in cases of our development of the hindbrain, that the development of the medulla oblongata, we see that as the fourth ventricle or the cavity of the upper part of medulla oblongata, the cavity expands to form the fourth ventricle. The position of basilar and the alar plate, it changes. That the basilar plate, it is close to the midline, while the alar plate, it is directly lateral. So this rearrangement of basilar and the alar plate, it is, we also know that the basilar plate, they contain the motor nuclei, while the alar plate, they are concerned with our sensory nuclei. So we can simply say that on account of expansion of the fourth ventricle, the basilar plate or the motor component of the cranial nerve, which is located in the medulla oblongata, they are close to midline, while those which are of the alar, they are directly more laterally. Now, what are the, as a result of this, that is on account of the expansion of the lateral of the fourth ventricle, what happens please? That the neuroblast in the basilar plate of the medulla, neuroblast in the basilar plate of the medulla, they develop into the motor neuron. The neuroblast, they form nuclei and they organize themselves into three columns. These columns from medial to lateral. They are, number one, we have the first from medial to lateral, that we have got the general somatic efferent. General somatic efferents, it is represented by a neuron of hypoglossal nerve. These are the neuroblasts in the basilar plate of medulla, and we also mentioned that these neuroblasts, they develop into the motor nuclei. Second, spatial visual efferents. Spatial visual efferents, they are represented by the neuron of 9, 10, and the cranial part of 11th cranial nerve. The third column, that we call it as a general visual efferents. They are represented by neuron of vagus and glossopharyngeal nerve. That is the dorsal nucleus of the vagus and the inferior salivatory nucleus of the 9th cranial nerve. Now, these were the derivative of our basilar plate, and the different cranial nerve nuclei which are motor in nature, they are derived from basilar plate, and their arrangement was from midline to the laterally, and we said that they are in the three column, first, second, and the third one. That is from. Now the neuroblast in the alar plate of the medulla. Now neuroblast in the alar plate of medulla that are arranged in four columns on each side from medial to lateral. From medial to lateral. Midline also like this. From medial to lateral. Now what are these? That most medially we have got the general visceral afferents which are receiving impulses from the viscera. Second column is spatial visceral afferent receiving taste fiber. Third, the general somatic afferent receiving impulses from the surface of the heart. The fourth, spatial somatic afferent receiving impulses from ear. Now, in our medulla oblongata, there are also presence of the olivary nuclei, and these olivary nuclei, they are derived from our alar plates. So that was the development of our medulla oblongata. Now the next part of the hindbrain. What is hindbrain? It is a part of the brain that is composed of pons, medulla, and the cerebellum. Now first we are going to see the development of pons, then we will see the development of cerebellum. So before going into the development of pons, we are going to see the general feature of the pons. Pons diagram yes. If you look into the gross feature of the pons, it is a portion of the hindbrain below which we have got the presence of medulla oblongata, and above we have the presence of the midbrain. Below we have got the presence of medulla oblongata, this one is the pons, and above we have the presence of our midbrain. So this small portion is present between the medulla and the midbrain, that is our pons. Now on the interior aspect of the pons, we have in middle we have got the presence of the basilar groove. Then on its anterolateral aspect there is presence of trigeminal nerve, that is our fifth cranial nerve. At the junction of pons and medulla oblongata, we have the presence of sixth nerve, then we have got the presence of the seventh nerve, and then we have got the presence of our vestibulocochlear nerve. So these are the nerves which are located, which has got the superficial attachment to the pons. So how this pons develop? The pontine fracture, it causes the divergence of the wall of the pon, which spread the gray matter in the floor of fourth vertical. Pontine fracture दिखाओ जरा पीछे ऊपर ये वाला. The pontine fracture, it causes the divergence of the wall of the pons, which spread the gray matter in the floor of fourth ventricle. You can well see in this here. Now, what are the gray matter, or what are the derivative of alar and the basilar plate we see in the pons? तो टेबल निकालो. Now look at this one. Now these are the cranial nerve nuclei which are developed from alar and the basilar plate. Now from the alar plate we have the special somatic afferent. They are, the nucleus is vestibular cochlear nerve. That is our 8th cranial nerve. Then we have got general somatic afferent. Its nucleus is main sensory nucleus of the 5th, nucleus of spinal tract of trigeminal nerve, and the cranial nerve is our 5th. Then we have got the spatial visual afferent. It is represented the nucleus of tractus sertorius, and the nerve is, that is our 7th nerve. And we have, so we can say simply that the alar derivative, they are 8th nerve, 5th nerve, then we have got the 7th nerve. Now what are the derivative of the basilar plate? The basilar plate, general visual efferent, the superior salivatory nucleus and the lacrimator nucleus, and they are of our 7th cranial nerve. Then spatial visual efferent, motor nucleus of the 5th, motor nucleus of the 7th, that is the cranial nerve is 5th and the 7th. And then we have got the somatic efferent, that is the motor nucleus of our 6th, and the cranial nerve is 6th. We can simply say that the cranial nerves which are located in, which are formed from this our basilar plate are our 7th, 5th and 6th nerve. So that is the different type of the cranial nerve nuclei which are located in the pons, and they are derived from our alar and the basilar plate. The next topic is, that is the development of cerebellum. Cerebellum developed from metencephalon. It is located posterior to the pons and the medulla oblongata. The cavity of this, as with our pons and medulla oblongata, that is the 4th ventricle. Now before going into the developmental status of this cerebellum, we see that the cerebellum, it has got the cerebellar cortex, which is composed of grey matter, and on inner side we have the presence of the white matter. Embedded in this white matter we are the masses of grey matter, and these are called intracerebellar nuclei. The name of these nuclei are the fascicle, globose, emboliform and the dentate nucleus. The cerebellar cortex, it is composed of 3 layers: molecular layer, percongenial layer and the granular cell layer. Now this was the general description of the cerebellum. We simply can say, then in cases of cerebellum we have got the grey matter outside and the white matter is inside. Grey matter is composed of 3 layers: molecular layer, percongenial layer and the granular layer, and there are certain nuclei of the cerebellum which are located within the white matter. They are inside, and these are called as intracerebellar nuclei. Now how this cerebellum develop? The neuroblast, we say that the wall of neuron tube, it is composed of 3 layers. The inner layer, the inner layer, पहले शुरू से चलेगा कुछ चलेगा और कर the wall of the neural tube, it is composed of three layers as we see in case of spinal cord. Inner one, that is the epidermal layer. Second zone, that we call as the neuroblast, and third zone that we call as the marginal layer. So neuroblastic layer, that is the feature neuron. In cases of the development of पहले से शुरू शुरू की चीज और अभी in cases of the development of the cerebellum, the neuroblast from the intermediate zone, they migrate into the marginal zone and they differentiate into the cerebral cortex. Other neuroblasts in the intermediate zone, they give rise to intracerebellar nuclei. So we can say simply that the cerebellum, it is developed from alar plate. What happens is that in the alar plate, the dorsal part of the alar plate, the cerebellar primordia, it enlarges and it overgrows the fourth ventricle. Finally, what happens is that these two primordia of the cerebellum, they fuse in the midline. They fuse in the midline and they form a cerebral hemisphere. So the cerebellum, it is one of the alar plate derivative. What happens is that first these primordia are located at the side of the fourth ventricle. Then what happens is that these two swelling of the cerebellar or the primordia of they grow and they meet in the midline and finally they develop into the cerebellum.